How does a story that kicks off with the entire world, all of humanity, suddenly zoom in to focus on just one single family? Seriously, understanding the answer to that question is the absolute key to unlocking the message of the entire book. So here's our game plan. We're going to break it down into 4 parts. First, we'll see how a good world went so wrong. Then we'll hit this crucial turning point, this hinge of hope. After that, we dive into the story of this seriously flawed family. And finally, we'll trace the mysterious promise of a king. All right, let's jump right into part 1, A Good World Gone Wrong. This covers those first 11 chapters. Think of this as the wide-angle lens, the big picture story of God and the whole world. So the book opens up with God bringing order and just breathtaking beauty out of darkness and chaos. And he says it's good, not once, but 7 times. At the very peak of this creation, he makes humans in his divine image. Now, this is crucial. They're meant to rule the world for him, to be like little mirrors reflecting his goodness out into creation. But instead of trusting God, the humans decide they want to call the shots. They want their own definition of good and evil. They rebel. And that single choice, that one act of defiance, just unleashes this tragic downward spiral. Relationships break, and the world just spins out into violence and death. And boy, does it escalate quickly. Right away in the garden, trust is shattered. Then, with the very first brothers, Cain and Abel, murder enters the world. Things get so corrupt that God has to wash the world clean with a flood, saving only Noah's family. But you know what? Even that doesn't fix the root problem. Humanity's rebellion hits its peak at the Tower of Babel, and God has to scatter them across the face of the earth. Which leaves us with this huge, massive question just hanging in the air. After all of this failure, after humanity is completely scattered and divided, what in the world is God going to do to rescue and redeem his creation? Well, the answer comes in what is basically the hinge of the entire book, chapter 12. This is the moment where the whole story pivots and we get this unexpected, brilliant glimmer of hope. And this is where you see the book's incredible design. The author basically takes the camera from this super wide shot and just zooms all the way in. The story shifts from God and the world in chapters 1 through 11 to God and one family for the rest of the book. And that family starts with this one guy, Abram, who later gets renamed Abraham. I mean, he's a nobody from a city of scattered rebels, and yet he is God's surprising answer to the problem of a world gone completely wrong.